Welcome everyone to Ask Hypnotica 40, I think it is. Anyways, this isn't going to really be about an Ask Hypnotica. This is going to be more about giving you some just straight up advice. And you may have noticed if you follow me on Facebook or any of that social media stuff that my best friend died this week, along with another really good friend that I grew up and had a lot of great meetings with. He was a DJ that I knew for probably about 10 years, and he was my DJ personally. And we had a lot of great talks, and he was just a good old-fashioned guy, and so was my best friend. And there's a couple things that are going on that I want to bring to the table. And I think a big part of what guys don't understand as far as like stepping up and becoming masculine and becoming an upright man is and does have to do with your actions. Now, when this situation happened to my best friend, you have a choice. You can kind of sit back and be passive, or you can get up and really step it up and help those around you. And I'm trying to do this. Well, I'm actually doing it. I'm not trying to do it. I'm doing this because not only does it develop your ability to be more generous, more caring, more compassionate, more assertive in situations that aren't so happy at the base front, but it also gives you an opportunity to really give to others. And what I mean by that is, the family obviously had a traumatic week, and they're not in a situation where they can really like handle it. They're not the most social family in the world. They like their privacy. And so you got thousands of people, literally, because we have a huge network of friends down here that want to get involved. And I basically said, okay, I can watch this and I can be back and I can just, be his friend that's bummed out, or I can really step up and make a difference and turn this into something magical. And that's what I'm talking about when you're in life and you have these options and these choices and these situations and these events and any activity that you do, you have a opportunity any point in time and a possibility to make it a magical, powerful, wonderful event. And that comes up to you. And I always say, be the person that takes the lead. Be the person that creates what you want out of thin air. Because in the way the reality goes in the universe and the multi-universes that are going on, there's all kinds of different options that can happen. I could have sat back and just been lazy and said, okay, it's sad, I'll show up and give my condolences. But what I chose to do, and this is why I'm talking about, this is leading by example. And this is why I want to bring it to the table, because this is a prime example of how to do things. So the family had their situation. I basically called them and I said, look, I'm going to take a huge burden off of you. I'm going to handle the whole entire crowd because they are private. They didn't really want a service with a bunch of people around. The one brother, basically their mom died when they were young, and he was kind of traumatized with all the people coming up and saying stuff. So he's like, he didn't really want that because my best friend has 2 kids, and he was just like it traumatized him. And so I said, let me handle it. So now I could have handled it lots of different ways, but what did I do? I got up, I made a video, I really laid it down. You can see that video, I believe, on YouTube. It's probably one of my last uploads. It's Walter's Services, if you want to look at it. But actually, I made 2 videos. One was just telling everyone on social media, like, hey, this is our loved one. However, the family wants a very immediate family-only service. And I put it out there. In 3 days, got 4,200 views, all right? Now, that's a lot of people showing a lot of love and bringing people together. And I also set it up on that first video, like, hey, I want you to go to Walter's page and put any, pictures, memories, videos, whatever you can. Do this. Now I'm going to step back a little bit and say, look, if I didn't do anything and I was just like, hey, bombed, cool, okay, when's the family? Put it all on the family. When's the service going to be? Okay. What stuff wouldn't have got done? It takes a proactive man to understand that we're shifting, we're molding the universe the way that we believe or we foresee it to be. So if your vision up here in your mind, what you create, your mind, your spirit, your ability to get off the lazy path and say, we're going to create something special, wasn't going and it wasn't activated and I didn't pursue it, it could have just went ho-hum. So now we have a huge event that's going to turn out down in Imperial Beach, where Walter, my friend, was an amazing surfer, and I was always kind of pushing him. I got him started in surfing. I'll tell you a funny story. He's a big wave rider, like charged big waves, like loved big waves, but it always wasn't like that. And I remember I took him out for the first time and we paddled out, and I used to surf on him in, 7-10 years around there. And it was a big day and he was kind of afraid. And I basically gave him an option. I said, hey, because I'd been surfing a while, I said, here's the deal. He's a really good friend of mine, okay? This is the one I talked about where I broke his arm, okay? And things like that. We have a long relationship and we're good, best friends, really. But it was one of those things. So he's sitting out there and I looked at him. I look at the wave and, water, but big waves, are pretty powerful. I go, here's your choice, Walt. I said, you can either take off on one of these waves or I'm going to punch you. And he knew I was serious because sometimes I was like the big brother of these guys, kind of teaching them a little bit. I said, so you have a choice. You take off or I'm going to punch you. Not in the face or anything, but, I was going to rough him up a bit, give him some tough love. That's kind of who I was in our family and niche of friends. So he had a choice. And you know what? He took off on a big-ass wave. And you know what? He ate shit bad. And he got back up. He's a little roughed up. And I go, so did that hurt worse than the punch? He's like, probably not. I go, let's do it again. We kept on doing it. Okay. Then he continued and kept on thriving, and then he ended up getting towed into like Todos Santos. If you know those big ass waves, like he went way further beyond than I did. It's just kind of a story that maybe I'm just reminiscing on it. But the point is, I pushed my friend. I was like, come on, man, you can do it. That's what friends do. This is what friends are doing right now. I'm stepping up. I got a little memorial going for them. I got, people that are going to donate to the cause. I got 100 lays flying out from Hawaii. We're going out on Saturday morning to do a paddle out. I got DJs. I got all these things going because if I didn't step up, it's not going to get done. And so you have to think about that's about personal responsibility. What do you want to contribute to the world? What is your impact going to be? And I say this a lot. Who are you? Are you that guy that just comes to the party and just takes and then leaves a mess and just goes? Or are you the guy that says, hey, you know what? Is there anything I can bring? And you bring something to the party. So you're adding to the party and you have a good time and then you leave. And then there's the guy that brings stuff to the party, helps entertain, helps clean up, okay? And is just a positive impact. You have these choices. There's different levels in which you want to shift the world. And you're only going to grow from it. You're only going to get better. It's only going to reconnect you into a much more spiritually ground purpose. And that's just a good thing. So talking about some of these things that went on, like what people call death, I call it transitioning to or out of the physical realm, is one of those things where it can touch you. And if you see that first video, the tribute, I'm doing good. I'm explaining it a little bit and then I break down a little bit, And a lot of guys are so machivo and they're like, I can't cry or things like this. It's okay, man. Like the body weeps, the tears, the eyes don't shed. So if you're feeling that, and I don't feel it that often, okay, but when your best friend dies, you're going to feel it, or your close loved one or a relative, you're going to feel it. So let it out, man. It was refreshing. And so I just want to kind of show and give you guys a little bit of ideas about any time a situation like this comes up. Step up, because you're only going to grow from it. People are going to now look at me going, whoa, like, we didn't know you had that in it. Because a lot of people that I grew up with don't know this side of Hypnotica and what I do. So they're like, wow, man, you're really stepping up to this stuff. Hell yeah. You know what? Because every time I step up, I'm getting better and better and more powerful, and more people can look at me and say, you know what, that was fucking badass, okay? That's what makes a difference. It makes that difference that makes the difference. So I just want to I'm kind of just going off because we have the service in 2 days and things like this. Another thing that is important when you are hitting these levels and you're bringing it out there and you're going for it and you're making stuff happen, and I tell a lot of people, a lot of guys, okay, because mostly guys listen to the advice that I give. And I've been throwing parties for 23 years, run strip clubs, went through some big badass parties. I had parties with David Blaine came down, lines around the block, okay? It's hard, but when you learn to do things like this, you can become a host, and hosting is important in any situation. So I always tell guys, hey, learn to throw a party, man. Learn to figure out, if you invite people over and you're making dinner and you have cups and you have stuff, because it's an asset. It's an asset for anything. A lot of people don't know how to throw parties. So I can make this event happen and be good. If you know how to host and you know how to have a party and you're out, you can invite people back to the house and you have your ice ready and you have your cups ready and you're being social and you're like, hey, is there anything I can give you? Because this is about service, It's about creating an environment that people want to be. And when you can create that, it's only going to transfer to other areas of your life, which is an asset. So if you don't know how to do that, okay, if you're just sitting in a dirty ass room and you've never gone beyond yourself, I highly suggest you do, because it's only going to add to the value that you bring to the table. So there's all these different ideas that I just kind of mentioned. The bottom line is this. Remember, we're shifting and we're shaping the universe. And, this is a tough one, but I grabbed onto it and I'm shaping it. And everyone's going to have a great time. And you got to look back and say, you know what? Who started this? Who's the genesis of this? Who had and allowed this to happen? So all these people got together again. New photos that are going to be taken with people I haven't seen for years. Good friends coming together. You don't have to be, but if you are that guy, it's a double thumbs up, and it's going to bring you far. So think about doing things like this. If you have that opportunity, do it, because you're only going to learn, you're only going to grow from it, and you're only going to develop into a much more powerful, masculine, upright, authentic, kick-ass type of guy. So hope something in here went in. I know it was a little different than normally, but it's been a very different week for me, and we're moving on. So all you guys out there, if you have those situations, just fucking handle them like a man. Step up and kick ass, all right? Hypnotica out. Go.